Good morning. I didn't run this morning, which is really annoying. So I'm gonna be a little bit of a moody Mandy today, but I'm really not sleeping well. Anyway, that's besides the point. Today, we're gonna talk about something that maybe was on my mind, and maybe it's why I didn't sleep. Yesterday, as you know, I said that I miss my family, but I had a video call with my mom last night. And then it got me thinking about a video call. These video calls, they look like, they look like a bridge to closeness, okay? Now, we thought, oh, okay, cool, they're almost a replacement for like me being physically with another person. I don't think that's the case. I think they were genuinely designed, or at least the outcome of the technology is rather a substitute for a normal phone call. And I think there's something creepy in that. And it also begs the question, what do we really want from a video call? Like, have we thought about it a little bit deeper? Now, what I'm claiming is that video calls aren't intimacy, okay? They're not a substitution for closeness. There's something else. They're this weird hybrid space where we negotiate distance, performance, as well as like the presence of another person. So today we're going to go through this. I'm going to start off with just kind of explaining a little bit about video calls and where we've come. Then I'm going to talk about how they're missing intimacy. Then what are we seeking in them? And then the unsettling truth that comes with us using them so often. It shifts something in relationships. Anyway, let me eat my breakfast and I'll see you later. Looks like a floating moustache. You see this? This is the green. It's a sign that winter is coming. Sad. People, I kid you not, a 9-year-old just asked for my number. Like, I'm getting there. My husband is on the way. He asked for my Snapchat. Like, what the balls of this kid? I was like, wow. And then he was like, okay. I was like, no, I don't have Snapchat. And he was like, okay, can I have your number? And I was like, and his dad was right there. I was just like, okay. Anyway, I guess my 9-year-old friend leaves me to the perfect segue to talk about video calls. What are they? Effectively, they're just a call that used to be done over voice, but now you can see picture. Now, there's some sort of efficiency in the connection, so when I move, you move, and you see it all. That sounds obvious because we use it like we just accepted it, but it wasn't a few years ago. So it's more than just a call, but it's less than being together. So if it's not this closeness or this intimacy, then what is it? So, a date night over Zoom never replaces an in-person date. And why is that? Because there's no shared spaces, there's no bodily presence of another person. The awkward silences are not as awkward. There's deferred eye contact. There's just putting down the phone versus like actually being in the moment there. They just don't carry this weight that exists when you're with another person. So then it begs the question, maybe intimacy was never really the point with these video calls. So what was it? I think it's time for a mid-morning break. I'll meet you outside. Let's go. Okay, it's a little bit later in the day. We're just had our coffee, and it was average coffee. But it's quite a nice sunny day today, so I'm quite happy about it. Very quiet here, but I think that's going to change very soon as the kids come back. Anyway, let's go back to video calls. So we know that they're not like a replacement for intimacy or closeness. They don't seem to fit the bill. Or maybe I should say the brief when it comes to, I don't know, having a date with someone or genuinely checking in with someone. So what are they in this day and age? And it might be weird that we're questioning this because we just accept it as part of normal day life. But I think it's important to acknowledge what they are and what they're not. Are they some sort of assurance seeking, checking that someone is alive? And I'm not going to lie to you and say that I haven't potentially used it for that case to be like, oh, okay, it's not just your voice, you're alive, you're there, cool. And with the onset of AI, I know this sounds like an extreme future, but you don't know who's copying your voice. And yes, in the future, they're even going to copy someone's presence and fake a video call. But voice right now is almost perfect. Someone can sound exactly like me, and it's not me. So this having an extra face in a video call, a call with someone, hearing their voice, seeing their face, analyzing their movements, seeing their background, it's some sort of like, okay, cool, this person is alive, they're actually there. It kind of can mitigate lies to be like, oh no, are you at home? Yes, I am at home, look, here's the fridge, kind of vibe. So this camera kind of becomes more of a proof device versus an actual connection. And that's, I don't know how I feel about that. I guess, can we really have connection mediated through technology? What are you doing down there in the sand? It's home time. Let's go home. We're tired. It's been a long day. This is where you left your toilet. Anyone want it for free? It's got a beach theme. Okay, I'm home. I've put food on already because I'm so hungry. And I've eaten this jar of snacks from Emirates First Class already. But we have something more important to talk about. Earlier in the day, we were talking about how these video calls are almost becoming a form of confirmation and not necessarily this creation of closeness or fostering of intimacy. And this is where it becomes a little bit interesting, is that if we start having relationships on video calls, or we start substituting that face-to-face interaction, that sitting down talking, obviously this does not apply if there is no other option. However, there is still something in it that's important. And it's that it doesn't bring us closer necessarily. Closer than, let's say, with reference to a phone call. And this shift is kind of rewriting relationships in a weird way. And this intimacy that we would normally foster from people when we sit opposite each other is now being replaced with this confirmation. And relationships are maintained by these like check-ins and not shared experiences. And I think that's a very, very important thing to take note of. It's, I'm checking in with you, not we're doing this together. Now, this technology that we now use when our relationships are mediated by a video call, we're being taught to settle for signals rather than this like substance that is needed for this genuine human connection. And slowly, being with someone is replaced with being seen. And that makes me really sad, because what does that little green dot on Teams mean now? I'm at work. Not, oh, I can physically see Bianca at work. I think we need to be a little bit more cautious about how much we use video interaction when we're interacting with people. So, it's the evening now. It's actually 8:15. I'm gonna go to bed early today because I haven't been sleeping well for the past 2 nights. So hopefully we'll catch up on our sleep today. But the topic of intimacy is a deep one for me. And I think we should have a whole another video on intimacy. But an important part of intimacy is human connection and engaging and talking to other humans. Now, when this talking and engaging is mediated through technology, as with a video call, things change a little bit. And today's thought experiment basically asks 3 questions. What if future intimacy is less about closeness, but more about verification? A world where the highest form of connection isn't sharing a space, but proving you exist through a lens. Would that make intimacy smaller or simply unrecognizable to us now? Now, these are quite far-fetched, and I actually asked ChatGPT for those 3 things. Now, I don't know if I believe any of them. I think there's something that video calls are doing that is taking away this intimacy, and I don't think it's a direct replacement for human connection. I think there's a big element, like I mentioned today, of verification. That becomes part of it, to be like, okay, you're still alive, you're kicking, you're not lying to me, you're this. But there is an element of, it is deeper than a voice call because you've got another modality. Now, that doesn't mean that people don't change when you are a video call. I am a different person in human form than I am over video call because I use my hands a lot. Over video call, one of my hands is here and I'm holding the phone. I guess you can rest it on. But there's subtle things that change. And I think intimacy and close connection do change with video call. And I think we must be very cautious of substituting that real world connection with a video call. I think if we foster these relationships over video call, I don't think that they will be the same in person. Now, it's a perfect example of it happened during COVID, where everyone went to video. And we got very fatigued talking via technology because it is quite an intimate thing to be this close to someone else's face. Now, on a video call, I can be very close to, I don't want to say a stranger, but to someone that I may not be I would not be that close to their face if I was in person with them. So there's a subtle difference there. And I think, like I said, intimacy is a strange thing. And I will dive one day way deeper into intimacy and the notion of technological mediation to intimacy. I will challenge it. But for today, I just wanted to make people think a little bit differently about what is a video call and why do we use it? Because it seems like it just existed and now it's normal. And I think social media has a big role to play in that. I see random people all over my Instagram and it seems okay. And now when I've got my friend on my thing, it feels a little bit more intimate. Anyway, I digress. It's time to go to bed. Hope you guys had a lovely day and I'll check you tomorrow.